WrestleMania 5 tickets. Aaron, the owner of student apartments I mentioned before, was a high roller in Atlantic City, meaning he frequented and gambled there often. He also had connections with hotel stays and show tickets. My father was asked to do private work in a condo belonging to a friend of Aaron's named Walter. Dad asked me if I wanted to go and help him, which is not often, meaning it was an expectation or demand. You want to go with me to Margate, New Jersey? I'd take any trip out of the ordinary. This was somewhere between January and March 1989. When we arrived, Dad was already given a key or passcode into Walter's condo. Yes, it was kind of large and fancy, but never, even to this day, understood the concept of condo. Owning an apartment? What's the difference between a large fancy house and a condo? Dad had to work on some wiring around a bar area and a hot water heater. Aren't condos supposed to have their own maintenance staff like a regular apartment building? After only maybe about 20 minutes there, Walter returned, which we told he might. He was similar to Aaron, was wealthy, or made a good income, but was nice and down-to-earth gentleman. Then came a stunning question. Do you watch wrestling? I said, yeah, I watch WWF. He continued, would you like tickets to that upcoming WrestleMania? Anxiously, I replied, WrestleMania 5? Yes, please, thank you. Walter kind of modified my answer. I don't know what it's called, but it's called WrestleMania. I'll set the tickets aside for the box office. I continued, yeah, WrestleMania 4 last year was in Atlantic City. Wish I could have gone to that show. Walter added, well, you're going to this one. Despite I had already and immediately said thank you. Dad insisted I thank him again, which I did. Although I did not hear Walter say how many tickets, especially since my brother would definitely be going with me. I think days later, Aaron tried to get in contact with Walter to assure 2 tickets would be available, but we did not hear back either way. Well, on April 2nd, 1989, we traveled to Atlantic City. We were on the boardwalk, and there was a line to get inside the convention center for the show and the box office. Apparently, the show was not a sellout despite the pay-per-view by rate being the biggest and would not be overtaken for many years. I think Dad went to a VIP window or something to pick up the tickets. When he returned to us, he gave my brother and I our tickets, but they were not front row or anything like that. They were on a lower balcony, but on the ground floor, so we could still see the show in the distance. Dad then said, I'm sorry the tickets were not at the box office like Walter said they would. I asked for Walter's name, Aaron's name, his own name. I then asked what tickets were available, but wanted to make sure we could see good. Dad said he purchased the tickets himself at a cost of $150 apiece for my brother and I, $300 total. Mom said, you're going to have to go and see Aaron and try to get in contact with Walter and what the hell happened. Maybe ask for your money back. Dad said, go get in line. As we did, there was an extraordinary appearance by the Ultimate Warrior. He came around a corner of the building wearing a jean jacket, black sunglasses, and holding a silver briefcase, most likely containing the WWF Intercontinental Championship belt. An elderly woman yelled, oh my God, it's Ultimate Warrior. He waved and smiled at them, but quickly opened one of the convention center doors to get inside. You know, he strangely looked much shorter. The only 2 matches I remember most were Ultimate Warrior versus Rick Rude, with manager Bobby Heenan for the WWF Intercontinental title, and the main event Hulk Hogan versus Randy Macho Man Savage for the WWF World title. I do vaguely remember Strikeforce versus Tully Blanchard and Arn Anderson match, and saw Tito attempt to tag out to Rick Martel. Martel left the ring, and I had no idea what happened. I also vaguely remember seeing Andre the Giant, as big as he was from a distance, for his match versus Jake Roberts. The Ultimate Warrior match to this day is a disturbing memory. I witnessed Rude's manager Bobby Heenan hold Warrior's leg down, unable to kick out of a pin. I just saw Warrior lose the Intercontinental title and begin screaming really loud, no, no, no. I was so loud, upset, and angry. I've never been a fan of Hulk Hogan, but when he defeated Randy Savage to regain the WWF World title, we were all cheering. But I can say today, I did go to WrestleMania, thanks to my father. On Monday morning, we went into Aaron's office and said no tickets were left for us. I attempted to add that Dad put his own money out and paid for tickets. Dad stopped me from saying anything. Aaron called Walter and put him on speakerphone. Walter said, I went on vacation and forgot to get the tickets. I'll make it up to you right now. Whatever show you want, you got it. Dad and I walked out of Aaron's office disgusted. When Walter said, well, Aaron replied, we'll get back to you. Because most shows in Atlantic City were in adult age clubs and rooms, plus not as much fun like WrestleMania would be. So Walter's offer was not taken.